So hello everyone, my name is Akash and today in this video I am going to discuss with you about the trend analysis of next paper, specifically the biology section. If you see this table, it gives a data from the previous year questions that has been asked from biology section right from 2017 to 2024. You can clearly see that some of the chapters are of more importance than the other ones. Like units like genetics, molecular biology, evolution, human health and disease, ecology, cell biology, plant physiology, biomolecules, these are of more importance than the other units. You can clearly see from the number of questions that has been asked from these units, and you can compare it with the other ones like morphology and anatomy. Very less questions has been asked. Okay, now there are some topics in these units which are more important. Okay, like from biomolecules, if I tell you, concepts of Michaelis-Menten concepts are very important. Okay, also the pi values, isoelectronic points, protein structure, amino acid, Zutter ionic states, these are very important topics from biomolecules. From genetics, you can see from the papers, if you are able to see those papers, these papers, that pedigree analysis is very important topic, and topics like genetic cross, Mendelian disorders, chromosomal disorders, these are very important topics from this chapter. From molecular biology, of course, there are range of questions that can be asked because this chapter can be related to biotechnology and cell biology also. That's why there is a range of questions that can be asked, starting from lac operon to the central dogma, replication, transcription and translation. Okay. Now cell biology is also a very core unit, and it is very important unit also because you can relate this unit to genetics as well as this reproduction wala chapter. Okay, and you can see that it is reflected in the number of questions that has been asked every year from this unit, specifically from cell division wala part. Okay, cell biology is also important, but cell division is far more important than cell structure and function unit. Okay, now there is one very important unit which is very scoring also because the chapters are little bit easier than the other units, and that is ecology. Very important unit. You can see that questions have been asked every year from this unit, and it's quite an scoring unit because the chapters are mainly concerned with macro level of study. So you can easily understand this topic and relate it with the environment. So that's why this is a very important unit. Now, if I try to give you a pie chart here, the things that I said in the last slide, it is reflected in this pie chart, that units like genetics and evolution are very important. In evolution, Hardy-Weinberg principle is very important. Okay, and also Darwin's principles of evolution, natural selection, and adaptive radiations, analogous, homologous organs, very important part of this evolution unit. Animal physiology, actually it is an important unit, but this unit contains 6 chapters. So that's why we can't predict in that specific manner that from which chapter of this unit our question going to be asked. That's why I ignored this unit in the last slide. But yes, questions are asked from this unit, but the syllabus is vast for if we see this unit. Okay, like genetics unit is 1 chapter only. Here, this unit has 6 chapters. Okay, cell biology and reproduction related topics, very important. Plant physiology, very important unit. Every year questions are asked from this unit. You can see from here that every year questions are asked. Okay. Morphology and anatomy is of less importance. Okay. Some questions are asked or some questions were asked from this topic, but it was related with some other topics and a complex or a conjugate question was asked, if at all question asked from this unit. Okay. Biology in human welfare, as I told you previously also, that immunology part of this unit is very important. Okay. So what is innate immunity, adaptive immunity, vaccination, T lymphocytes, B lymphocytes, adaptive immunity, and all sort of things that we study in immunology. From those topics specifically questions are asked more as compared to the other parts of this chapter. Okay. Now biomolecules, very important unit again. Questions are asked from the structure of biomolecules like RNA, DNA, proteins, amino acid, lipids, nitrogenous bases. All those biomolecules are important, and also enzyme kinetics is very important topic from this chapter. Okay. Diversity is also very important unit here, but the questions that are asked from this unit are mostly based on cladogram, okay, or some kind of information based question. Like they will give you some information and then they will ask based upon that information about the particular things or the particular things that have been asked in the question itself. Okay, so they tend to give a context in the question and then they ask question from that part. Okay. Now there is one thing which is missing here, and that is ecology. Very important unit. Ecology is very important unit. Okay. Easy and scoring, I am telling you again and again. Okay, if we talk about the if we talk about the division of 11th topics from 11th class. So if we talk about the divisions from 11th class, so if we talk about the topics of 11th and 12th class and we try to segregate it, 12th class, the topics that are there in 12th class, since they are more conceptual, that's why they are asked more frequently than those of 11th class. So these topics like genetics, evolution, ecology, and biology in human welfare, these are all the chapters which belong to 12th standard. But 11th class also, it has some chapters which are very important, like plant physiology, okay, diversity, cell biology, biomolecules, okay. But yes, you don't need to focus much on this thing. Just focus more on increasing your conceptual understanding of every chapter, every unit that has been mentioned here, and I assure you that you will do good in next exam, as it is a low scoring exam, and understanding of some topics can give you selection. Okay, so that was a trend analysis right from 2017 to 2024. Hope you have learned. Hope this video helps you. Thank you.